Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Ako po si Assistant to National Officer Allan Casupanan, and kasama ko sa ATN Section natin si Vice Consul Julian Benyaan. So, siya yung Supervising Officer, and I'm here to give you a brief presentation kung ano ba yung trabaho natin sa ATN Section and how do we serve our kababayan here in Singapore. Basically, lagi kong sinasabi to na yung ATN Section o yung mga tao sa ATN Section would be the last person na gugustuhin niyong makita dito sa Singapore. Mainly because dun sa nature ng job namin, pag pumunta kayo sa section namin, last may problema tayo. So, yun yung isa sa mga, actually yung primary duties namin, to help you resolve some of your issues, legal man yan or medical, dito sa Singapore. So, hopefully, in the near future or during your stay in Singapore, huwag naman sana tayong magkita dito sa embassy. We can talk in other venues, pero sana not on official capacity. Kasi it will be very sad na mangailangan kayo ng service because of the nature of it. So if you don't want to be in trouble, or listen to what we have to say, kasi this will be very useful para maging matiwasay ang pamamalagi niya dito sa Okay? So, first slide, ma'am. Okay, ito yan. So, the ATN section helps carry out the third pillar of Philippine Foreign Service Policy, which is to promote and protect the rights and welfare of overseas Filipinos. This is pursuant to the Philippine Foreign Service Act and the Migrant Workers and Overseas Filipino Act. Okay. Second is ATN Section assists Filipinos who are victims of a crime or who have immigration or police cases in Singapore. Mind you, we also assist even those who are accused. Hindi lang naman yung mga biktima ang tinutulungan natin, we also help those who are accused of committing a crime here in Singapore. Pero kasi our purpose is to promote and protect the rights and welfare of overseas Filipinos, whether they are victims or accused, even to some extent, kahit convicted na sila of a crime, we still extend our services to them. Later on, papakita ko how do we do that. But yun nga, we don't make any distinction whether victim ka ba or accused. So long as meron kang problema na legal dito sa Singapore, we will be here to assist you and ensure that your rights are protected and lahat ng legal remedies are available to you. Okay? Paano namin tinutulungan yung mga kababayan natin? Okay? So basically, the ATN section steps in when Filipinos become involved in criminal cases, either they are victims, sabi ko nga, or kahit sila pa yung alleged perpetrators, even if convicted. Tapos, we also provide family members of OFWs that needs help in getting financial support, as well as mediating, not necessarily resolving, but mediating marital issues, whereabouts, and custodies of children. Itong whereabouts na to, we get requests from time to time sa mga family members na nasa Pilipinas na nawalan ng communication sa mga kamag-anak nila na nagtatrabaho dito sa Singapore. So we do that, we assist, we liaise with the Singapore police and ask kung meron silang update or information regarding this one. But this whereabouts, pwede rin itong magawa mismo noong family sa Pilipinas by just filing an online application sa Singapore police. But yung whereabouts, it's not a means, or ang Philippine Embassy is not parang private investigator na kung maghahanap, or we simply do not do that since wala tayong ganun manpower. And of course, dapat it should be coursed through the local authorities here in Singapore. Okay? So ano yung mga usual crimes na encounter natin o yung mga nagiging problema ng mga kababayan natin dito? So ito yung mga common crimes na nako-commit ng mga kababayan natin. So take note of this and sana bear it in your mind and in your heart na sana iwasan natin yung mga ganito kasi these are very, very common. Outrage of modesty, ito yung particular to sa mga lalaki. So, yung parang sa atin, sexual harassment, ito yung katumbas niya. Criminal breach of trust or cheating, money laundering, theft as a servant, ito, please bear this in mind kasi I could say 90% ng mga crimes na na-handle namin or encounter namin sa ATN Section involves theft as a servant. Yan yung pinaka-common kasi nga nandun kayo dun sa bahay and yung ibang mga kababayan natin natitempt na kumuha ng mga bagay na pag-aari ng kanilang amo kasi siguro pang support sa pamilya o minsan luho. We just have one case na she admitted to stealing 10 pieces of jewelry, sinangla niya, and then natubos naman niya, pero na-discover na ninakaw niya pa rin. Diba? So, yun, fortunately for her, she is now in prison and she will be facing a significant number of prison term. So, yan yung isang aral doon. Making or furnishing false or misleading information, ito yung sa mga usually mga qualifications for employment requirements. Obtaining an entry permit by making false statements, similar. Ill treatment of a child or a young person. Ito, sa mga kasama natin na nagtatrabaho sa bahay na may mga bata, kung sa atin okay lang yung konting pagtapik ng kamay or yung bagay, bawal na sa ating pamamalo. Pero yung slightest pananakit, even yung konting-konti lang na pagpalo, that can be interpreted as an ill treatment of a child or a young person. Pwede kayong kasuhan for that. Marami kaming gano'n na mga cases. Sasabihin, sir, wala naman po kaming intention sa kaming bata, tinapik ko lang naman po yung kamay. It's already an admission, tinapik ko yung kamay, bawal na bawal yun. Okay? Possession or consumption of a controlled drug. Ito, alam naman natin na mahigpit ang Singapore. And one of those na talagang bawal na bawal dito is yung involvement in drugs. And in fact, it's a capital offense, meaning pwede kayong maparasuhan ng kamatayan, pagbitay. So, may bitay na karampatang parusa yan if you are involved in a crime, involving drugs. So please lang, don't do this, especially here in Singapore or even sa Philippines. Of course, we know the government's policy for drug offenders and so please don't do this. But unfortunately, meron tayong mga kababayan na matitigas pa rin ang ulo and they have been caught, arrested, detained, and sentenced, convicted. So meron tayo na andun na. And fortunately, nasagip naman natin sa sentensyang bitay. But again, matagal pa rin yung sentensya. It's almost 30 years. So that will be almost a half of your lifetime. So huwag kayo ma-involve dito. Investment scams, yan. Illegal assembly. Yung mga Filipinos na nandito sa Singapore are one of those who are very active in TikTok and social media, Facebook. Makikita mo yan ng TikTok. Pag nag-login kayo, marami mga kababayan natin naglalabas ng parang recreation, form of recreation. So, sayaw-sayaw sila or whatever. Number one, you have to take note, meron tayong social distancing measures dito sa Singapore. So right now, phase 3, pwede ang 8, pero of course 1 meter apart pa rin yan and you wear your mask. But in regards to illegal assembly, anything that will be considered as a form of political campaign or political expression, bawal na bawal po dito sa Singapore. And recently, we are handling a case wherein may isang mahilig mag-TikTok, pasayaw-sayaw sila sa places, kasama yung mga barkada niya, and then she was eventually contacted by another Filipino. Binigyan siya ng mga t-shirts pinasuot niya, okay, bibigyan ko kayo ng t-shirt and then you wear this, tapos mag-video kayo. Sumayaw sila. It's a harmless activity. Sayaw lang, tapos naka-t-shirt. Unfortunately, may nakalagay na I support farmers. That was construed as a political statement. Because yung I support farmers pertains to those farmers na nasa India. There's a large province in India. So yun, hinuli siya, she was arrested, and now she's under investigation. I don't know for the other 4 companions, pero I think it was her na talagang dinihin. So, it's harmless, walang ano sa atin yan. But again, bawal na bawal yan. So, please lang po, if you want to have a harmonious stay in Singapore, huwag nyo na pong gawin yun. Anyway, hindi naman yun yung venue. Kung meron na kayong anything na political statement, exercise your right to vote. And that's basically it. Okay? Unlicensed money lending or loan sharks. Ito, before we have cases na ang mga dito kasi sa Singapore, please note na dito sa Singapore, yung mga nagpapahiram, okay? Yung mga nagpapahiram ng pera, as far as Singapore law is concerned, sila yung mga offenders. Okay? Sila yung violators. Yung nangihiram ng pera, yun ang biktima. Okay? So, wag na wag kayong magpapahiram ng pera na wala kayong lisensya. Ang pinaparusahan dito basically is not really yung act of lending or giving money to the system. It's more of yung nagpapautang kayo o nagkakanda kayo ng business na wala kayong license to do it. Kasi money lending is a business. So you have, in order to conduct business in Singapore, you have to procure the necessary license to do it. So kung wala kang lisensya, tapos nagpapautang ka, kahit kababayan mo pa yan, ikaw pa rin yung mananagot, hindi yung nangutang sa'yo. May actual case din tayo dyan. 2 silang Pilipina, babae, nagpapautang sila, very small interest. And then, nung may isang nanghiram, nanghiram roughly around $10,000, kababayan din natin, naghiram siya ng amount, and then eventually, nung nakuha niya yung pera, napaayos yung bahay niya, and then sinumbong niya yung 2 nagpapahiram. So, ang nangyari, yung nagpapahiram, yun nahuli, yun ang na-convict. So, it's more than a year ang sentensya sa kanila. And then, yung nanghiram ng pera, nagawa yung bahay niya, wala pa siyang utang. So, for those who want to engage in money lending, wag na wag niyong gagawin yun kasi talo kayo in whatever form, lalo na wala kayong lisensya to do it. At sa atin, dahil pumasok tayo dito as HSW or Household Service Worker, bawal din tayo mag-engage into another profession. So, kahit saan nyo dalhin, hindi kayo pwede. See, other issues is part-time work. Bawal yan. Ang tawag dyan, moonlighting. So, kung HSW ka lang, yun lang talaga yung pwede sa'yo. Kung nurse ka lang. Hindi ka na pwedeng kumuha ng part-time job. Bawal dito yan. Okay? Ngayon, kung biktima ka naman, may mga loan sharks din na tinatawag ng mga sindikato talaga. So, kung ikaw na-tempt na manghiram sa mga loan sharks ito or unlicensed money lenders na sindikato, talo ka rin. Kasi ang mangyayari dyan, pag hindi ka nakabayad, lalaki yung patubo doon sa utang mo, ang mangyayari is i-harass ka ng mga sindikato na yan, and they have means to do it. Either doon sa employer mo or pupuntahin yung tirahan mo, and may mga cases tayo na gano'n. And unfortunately, iba kahit sila yung biktima, hiram, natatanggalan sila ng trabaho kasi yung employer, pag sila na yung ginugulo ng sindikato, then walang magawa ang employer, di tanggalin na lang niya yung source of trouble, which is yung empleyado niya. So, okay? So, wag na wag kayo manghihiram sa mga unlicensed money lenders. There are licensed money lenders, kung kaya yung interest at kailangan talagang pera, go to them, not yung mga loan sharks. Okay? Suicide, ito. Other issues.
Allah.
Yung suicide, before January 1, 2020, it is considered as a crime in Singapore. Okay, so kapag nag-suicide ka, tapos hindi ka namatay, nag-fail ka dun sa attempt mo na mag-suicide, pag nabuhay ka, kukulong ka pa nila. Okay, kasi ang mentality is ginamit mo yung resources ng gobyerno eh. Diba, nag-cause ka ng commotion, tapos ambulansya, medical, sa hospital. So ang ano doon is gumawa ka ng ginastusan ka ng gobyerno para sa isang bagay na bawal. But ang nangyari now, after January 1, dinicriminalize ang suicide. Ang Singapore, nagbago yung pananaw nila, tinignan nila ang suicide as a form of mental problem. So, ang tingin na nila ngayon sa mga suicide survivors and biktima at hindi na offenders. Meron akong recent case, yun, suicide siya and she survived and dinala sa mental, and then once okay na, and then she is allowed to leave the hospital once there's clearance from the doctor, tapos hindi na nag-pursue yung police. Otherwise, kung it was done before January 1, 2020, diretso yun ng kulungan. Okay? Unwanted pregnancy, ito ay nasa kontrata ninyo yan. I think yung labor office natin will be in a better position. Explain to you ba ano itong unwanted pregnancy. Excessive use of social media, I think also na in your contract, employment contract na yan. And of course, yung part-time work na discuss ko. Okay? Ito yan. So ano yung serbisyo namin na binibigay sa mga kababayan natin na medyo na-entangle sa mga kaso or may mga problemang legal. So number one, sabi ko kahit convicted na kayo, we still provide some service, consular service sa mga kababayan natin na na-incarcerate sa kulungan. Pero mind you, hindi naman lahat ng nakukulong convicted. Yung iba nare-remand doon while pending yung kaso nila, nandun sila. Okay, so yan, we do regular prison visits to incarcerated Filipinos. But it was suspended noong March 10 and was only revived noong October. But normally we do 1 or 2 prison visits every month. But because of COVID, medyo we do it now at least once a month. So pinupuntahan natin dinadalaw natin yung mga kababayan natin mga nakakulong. Yan, kinuwento ko ng mga legal licensed money lenders, yung mga biktima ng pagnanakaw, yung bago na dinala sa kulungan last week. Kikita na naman kami, pero sa kulungan na. Then we also provide, sa kulungan, we check on their condition, titignan namin if they're physically healthy, physically and mentally healthy. Tapos kung may mga request sila, kung kaya rin ng embassy, we give it to them. Providing legal assistance to overseas Filipinos involved in criminal cases. Yan. So I've told you, kahit accused ka of a criminal offense, meron pa rin tayong ginagawang pagtulong. Pero hindi po kami ang nag-aabogado para sa kanila. Bawal po kami mag-practice dito. Walang Filipino lawyer ang allowed to practice under Singapore courts. Only Singaporean lawyers are allowed to do it. Ang ginagawa natin, kung pupunta sa yung Pilipino sa atin, we provide preliminary legal advice. May consultations yung ginagawa. We give them an overview kung ano yung mga rights nila and kung paano yung pag-conduct ng case nila. Legal assistance can also be done in the form of providing counsel. Yung lawyer. Ang mangyayari dyan, magre-request yung Pilipino and then titignan natin, i-evaluate natin kung dapat ba siya bigyan ng pondo para makapag-hire ng Singapore lawyer to assist him or her doon sa case na kinakaharap niya. Normally, may mga parameters tayo dyan. So, dapat, anong tawag dito? Depende yan sa financial capacity ng tao. So, kung kaya naman niyang magbayad ng sarili niyang lawyer, of course, we will reserve yung pera natin kasi limitado lang naman doon sa mga talagang nangangailangan at nangangailangan at hindi kaya mag-hire ng sarili lawyer. Tapos, dapat na-exhaust na rin lahat ng means, meaning mga pamilya, kamag-anak, and then lahat nakapag-exhaust na, saka lang tayo tutulong. We are the last resort. Finally, dapat nag-apply muna siya ng pro bono services. Tapos ni-reject siya. Kasi dito sa Singapore may mga tinatawag na pro bono services, legal services. So, pwede yan. Once you are accused of a crime, pag wala kang pera, then the court will assign a criminal lawyer on your behalf. Pro bono yun. You just have to apply. Tapos next is we also facilitate yung assistance for medical. So ito yung mga na-hospital, tapos yung mga medical repatriation. Pag medyo malaki na yung bill at hindi kaya, we do our part to assist them financially. But of course, walang guarantee yun kasi we do not have the authority to dispense funds. Ang authority rests with the Secretary of Foreign Affairs. So gagawa lang kami ng endorse namin to, and then we will leave it up to the Secretary of Foreign Affairs to decide if may pondo and how much is can be given as a form of assistance. And then we also coordinate with Singapore Police Force, Maritime Port Authority, ito yung para sa mga seafarers natin, ICA, MOH, Ministry of Health, on behalf of Filipinos in this case. Sa Singapore Police Force, normally yan yung mga accused and victims of crimes. Maritime Port Authority for those seafarers, yung mga seamen natin na nandito. And then ICA, Force Immigration, Ministry of Health. Tapos we also monitor cases. Ito yung mga COVID-19 infected cases. So far, based on our embassy website, we already have 422 Filipinos who were infected with COVID. But fortunately, there are already 416 that were discharged and only 6 remains in the hospital as of Friday. So far, wala pa naman kami na-receive ng new infection case. So it's only 422 and 6 remains in the hospital for treatment out of the 59,000 infection cases in Singapore. Okay? Tapos, ang hindi nailagay dito is yung sa processing of reports of death. So, pag merong nangyari and may namatay na kababayan, kami rin yung naglalahis o nakipag-coordinate sa police, sa mga undertakers, sa employers, at saka sa family sa Philippines para ma-repatriate yung remains, maiuwi yung remains ng kababayan natin ng maayos sa Pilipinas. At the same time, kung merong foul play, kami rin nakikipag-coordinate sa Singapore Police para doon sa coroner's inquiry para ma-check yung kung ano yung nangyari talaga, ma-determine kung ano yung cause of death ng victim. Okay? So, from that ATN services, you would see bakit ini-encourage namin yung mga bagong dating through this PAOS na to bear this in mind kasi talaga when you seek the assistance of ATN Section, puro negative. It's either biktima ka, accused ka, may sakit ka, kailangan mo iuwi, o kaya na-stranded ka, o kaya namayapa ka na. So, you bear this in mind na talagang follow strictly yung laws of Singapore. Huwag kayong magbaviolate ng kahit na ano kasi it's always a ground for your termination and eventual deportation out of this country. Okay? Yan. So, general reminders. I-block niyo yung mga loan sharks on social media or your phone. Pag meron kayong ganon, you immediately file a police report para kung magamit man yung, para ma-prevent yung paggamit ng pangalan ninyo for other criminal purposes. Okay? Huwag kayong maging biktima ng isang krimen. Okay, don'ts. Please, again, I reiterate, refrain from borrowing from loan sharks or unlicensed money lenders. And then, wag din kayong mag-guarantee ng mga loans. And finally, Huwag niyong ibibigay yung work permit ninyo sa kahit kanino man. Okay? Kasi pwedeng gamitin yan for illegal purposes. I'll remind, when arrested, sana naman, knock on wood, huwag mangyari sa atin to. But if you are arrested, please provide truthful information. Tapos humingi kayo ng Filipino interpreter. That's part of your right. And then, ang pinaka-importante, you tell your IO, investigation officer, that you want consular access. Meaning, binibigyan nyo, sabihin yung IO nyo na gusto nyo i-inform yung embassy about your case. Okay? Pag ginawa ninyo yun, that's the only way na pwede kaming pumasok sa picture. Doon lang kami papayagan ng investigation officer to be, to communicate with them. Kasi kapag sinabi yung ayaw ninyo, no matter how we try, kapag nagsabi kayo na ayaw ninyong ipaalam sa embassy, hindi kami i-inform ng police at hindi kami papayagan na makipag-communicate with them. Kasi mas nire-respeto nila yung right ninyo even if you're just an accused. Okay? So, sabihan ka agad. At this point, pag na-arrest kayo, hindi pa matik dyan yung right nyo to a lawyer. So, ang close to having a lawyer during arrest is to ask for a Filipino interpreter. It's better to have a Filipino interpreter na sanay na sa mga ganyang cases to be with you than be alone in this kind of situation. Okay? So, yun yung three most important things that you have to remember when arrested. Okay? So, ito yung mga sample ng mga advisories na madalas nakikita natin. So, next slide, ma'am. Next slide. Yan. So, scam alerts. Yan. Yan yung mga, tingnan nyo lang yung mga samples ng mga scam alerts, advisories. Next slide. Again, sample ng advisory yan. Next, sa Facebook naman yan, madalas sa Facebook. Hihingi halimbawa ng mga contact details niyo. So, be very cautious. Okay? Yan. This one, madalas din to yung mga pinare-receive tayo ng mga alerts, either SMS or voice. May tatawag, sabihin taga-DBS sila or something. Tapos hihingi halimbawa, sabihin nila, hihingi nila yung mga personal details nyo, and then, yun na, doon na kayo matatrap. So, as much as possible, kapag may mga ganyan, i-block nyo na kaagad, lalo-lalo na kapag nakita nyo na hindi country code ng Singapore yung tumatawag or nag-text, yan, red flag yan. Ingat na kayo, malamang sa malamang, scam yan. Okay? May iba naman na gumagamit ng country code ng Singapore, but normally, ibang country code ang gamit. Madali mo siya makita. So these are the following numbers na pakisulat nyo na lang. Although these numbers are available doon sa website natin at sa Philippine Embassy in Singapore Facebook page, it's better na this will be handy in case knock on wood na may mangyaring masama sa atin. These are the numbers that you can call. Office hours, during office hours, 8 to 5, it's our trunk line, and then ito yung mga locals natin. After office, you can call or send SMS 90722797. But please, this is only for emergency cases, okay, such as accidents, death, or arrest of a Filipino national. Huwag naman kayong tatawag after office na magtatanong lang regarding passport requirements or NBI or authentication kasi hindi po ito ang tamang tanungan. As much as possible, we're trying to clear this number para doon sa talagang emergency cases lang. So kapag tumawag kayo regarding this one, we will just direct you to another number at hindi namin kayo pwedeng i-entertain ng matagal kasi nga dapat clear lagi ang line nito para doon sa mga tunay na emergency cases lang. Okay? So, may yung mga consular numbers naman natin nasa Facebook and website natin. So, doon kayo mag-refer. Kung hindi rin lang kayo emergency case, yan yung sinasabi ko, please don't call this number. You can also reach us at our email address, ito, sgpeatn@gmail.com. So if you have concerns, legitimate concerns, regarding yun, on any form of assistance, criminal or otherwise, you can send us an email and we will reply to you as soon as possible. Okay? So it's another form of way to contact us. Okay? Maraming salamat po and buhay po tayo lahat.